See if I am live. And it's starting. Okay, I am live. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. See if I am live. Sound is as good as I can offer it. Oops, there we go. So today I'm going to color both page 100 and 101. I'm gonna reach page 100 of story pages on for my comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. So that's why I'm gonna post 2 pages at the same time, as a kind of celebration event. I didn't have any better ideas for how to commemorate the event. So I figured most of my followers would be happy for that. In the past I've done art events or stuff like that, and it's just very time consuming and I don't have that much time at the moment. So I decided to do this instead, and maybe when I finish the comic I'll do something bigger. I don't know what to tell you right now. I would like to do something nice and big, and I'm not sure at the moment what I can do, especially since my audience is from all over the world. Time zones are an issue. Also, different cultures have different holidays at different moments, so it's kind of hard to figure out what to do when. Okay, I'm gonna use the brush to get into these extra spaces here. Now for these corrections I don't even need a pen tablet for it, which is kind of convenient for me because I don't have that much room on my desk. Someday I hope I'll have like a really big desk where I can fit everything. I'll probably need to wear glasses when I look at the screen though. I am nearsighted, and right now the screen is like 35 centimeters away from my face. So that means I can still see without glasses, which I love it because I hate my glasses. They're always so annoying, and any chance I get not to wear them, I will take full advantage and not do it, despite it not being a good idea. Like, if you have glasses you should wear them. But I've just always hated my glasses. I find them very uncomfortable, no matter how expensive they are. I'll get his hair. So Niels now is exhausted from running from the city guards. For those of you that are new and watching this, the comic book is available on Tapastic if you want to read it. I try and keep my comics free for everyone. There is, of course, a donation there option. Um, like the more people will donate, the more high quality I'll be able to do this in the future. I have 4 books written. This is the first, Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures to Cambridge, UK, where he met Stephen Hawking and Isaac Newton. In book 2, he's gonna go to China to visit Huang He. And third book is gonna be Galileo Galilei. There are gonna be some other side stories with Hypatia, Socrates, and some other scientists, but I'm from the ancient times, but like I need to check and see if they were real. Like for example, I like the idea of visiting He the engineer from China, but it's not really clear if he existed, so I need to look more into that. There's also an Arab guy that did some automatons that could play music, so I thought it was pretty cute. Could do a short story with that guy. But I haven't looked into much for it. Like half of the effort of making this comic book goes into the research. Like half of the time I spent it on that, writing the story. And even then I'll make changes, and then you make one change here and then it kind of ripples. Oh, hi June. Hope you can hear me okay. Hope the sound is good. And then the 4th book will take place in the future, in Niels's time. So it's not his future, it's his present, but it's our future. Yep, the sound is good. Awesome. I'm not talking to myself. Yay. My tummy is rumbling. I just fed it and now it's complaining about something. Hope you can't hear the noises. I just broke my PC chair. Wow. Wow. I'm glad you're okay. Like, how did that even happen? And I'm so sorry about your chair. It's hard to find a good chair. Oh, hi Kirani. How are you, dear? How's it going? Thanks for coming by. Because our floor tiles are not quite distant from one another and the wheels get stuck often in the gaps. Oh, sorry about that. I was just talking about what plans I have for books 2 and 3 and 4 for Niels, and if more people donate, like I can hire someone to do the backgrounds, and that would free up June to focus more on the characters and hopefully have a better quality for the line art, because I would like to make it thinner and colored, and also the backgrounds for Asia are gonna be like pretty complicated. I wouldn't start book 2 unless I can get some more money and someone to pay to help me with that. We're good, thanks for asking. Hope you're doing good too. Oh, for unfortunate June. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Like we're starting to get ready to move back to Europe. Um, Starting to try and figure out what we'll do with all our stuff, how we're gonna get it there, what we're gonna leave behind. Marie Button's butt here I think is too low. Okay, Ronnie, check this out. So you select on Clip Studio Paint 2 layers at the same time and you can move them. You cannot do this in Photoshop, and it's awesome for Clip Studio Paint. Check this out. Bam, moved it. Easier time, that's a lot to do, yeah. And here I just erase the extra line art and adjust it. You have the tool here for vector line art. Yeah, it is freaking it is freaking awesome. Clip Studio Paint is so cool. I just love it. Makes life so much easier. When I discovered this by accident, because I didn't see it in any tutorial thingy, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, dream come true. This is gonna make things so much easier, and it has. I'll try doing vector line art there now and realize, yeah, it's like this is why you use Clip Studio Paint. There isn't any other reason if you already have another program. I mean, it has a lot of awesome features. I would recommend it regardless, but the blending alone is amazing. I love how it preserves the colors. But these features are so cool. It's just one of those things you always wished your other programs had and they never do. And it seems like it's not that difficult of a code to add this, so I don't know why they don't. Also, if you want to draw a straight line, you press shift and it shows you where it's gonna go. Another awesome feature. That really all programs should have. Start for illustration. June, let me know when I can tell you about page 102, so I can explain that and not have to worry about it. Before I learn programming, I must master Clip Studio Paint. You want to learn too many things at the time. I would say like stick to one, and once you feel confident you can do whatever you want in that field, like let's say sewing or singing, then you can, I think, easier move to something else. because it's just too much. And if you don't, I don't know how to say, cement what you know, you're gonna forget it a lot easier, and then you have to learn it again and spend time learning it again. It will get easier to relearn stuff, but I think it's a time saver if you kind of become proficient in something and then move to something else. Like, this is one of the reasons I don't want to learn programming. I just want to get better at the things that I'm somewhat good now. Um, and even though I want to learn to play piano, I don't want to base anything financially on it. It's just my personal hobby and desire. And if I'll have time to do it, awesome. If not, c'est la vie. It's in the back burner. If I ever have spare time and the possibility to learn to play piano, I will, but I'm not gonna make extra efforts to learn it now. I rather focus on other things. Because there's just so little time and so many things to do. Yeah, and I don't even have kids. Like, if I had kids, goodbye fun. They're so time consuming. So I think June maybe went away to fix her chair, but if not, if June, if you're still around, let me know when I can go over page 102. Maybe I should write it in the chat. Unless you tie in fun and education. Yes, that is a good compromise. Yeah, no time for adult films with political violence and stuff like that. No Game of Thrones for kids. Nope, nope, nope. I'm here whenever you... Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go over the page now. Let's see, 102. Where are you? There we go. So we're getting into the action scenes, and I'm not very familiar with dog behavior, so I think this is gonna be more on you since you have dogs. So the middle dog, I drew him with gray, and I'm kind of selecting him as the boss dog. And he's gonna come growling, and his 3 feet are on the ground, and his right front paw is off the ground, and he's like stepping towards the characters, getting ready, growling, being all mean and scary. I haven't been able to find an exact reference image, but something like this. This is the front, but it's like, it's a chihuahua, not scary. So something more like this, but it's Niels's perspective, so it's a bit more up. I mean, this dog is gonna be pretty tall as well, but this is like the camera exactly in the front, and I need it to be a bit more up the view. Like, maybe you can take a picture of one of your dogs and use it as reference. And then he pounces, jumps toward Niels, and Niels like waves his stick over his head in the wrong direction. It should be like more horizontal than how I drew it, but I was afraid you wouldn't understand what was going on there, so he's like going above the dog's head, like he's swinging it way too high because he's not looking and he's afraid, and he like turns around and swings, and it goes over his head. And then when the gray boss dog jumps to Niels to bite him, Marie jumps as well, and she hits him with her head in his neck. And so he retreats back, and he's like coughing and like huh huh huh, because if you get hit in the neck it wouldn't be fun. And the other two dogs are kind of looking and growling as well and not knowing what to do, but then they decide to kind of circle Niels and the gang from opposite sides to kind of flank him. Like they're kind of going around. Like I was surprised how sneaky dogs can be. Because this whole event, Keirani, happened to me. Like I got stuck next to a tree, and by the time they were running down the hill and up to me, like I only had time to get like a stick and defend myself, and they were like going around trying to catch me. And so in the last two panels, yeah, they surrounded me. They're surprisingly sneaky. So last panel, I have a front view of Marie's face, and she's looking left and right and keeping an eye on the three dogs, and you have Niels behind her. I kind of try and drew his pants so you know that it's him. It's like above the knee of her height and his height, and he's behind. So yeah, that's it for page 2, and then in page 3 the fight will continue. And so far Erwin has been here up on the tree like a squirrel, but in page 3 he's gonna come down. And yeah, this is page 2. Boss dog growls, jumps at Niels, repelled by Marie, coughs, then they rethink their strategy, and Marie is eyeballing them to see what's gonna come next and try and defend Niels. Yeah, epic fight. Dog fight. Action scenes are not our best, but we try. And one blue eye, one yellow eye. So yeah, we're gonna end chapter 4 at page 105. So we got about 2 more weeks for the fan art. If anybody wants to submit fan art, you got 2 weeks left until we publish the fan art page, and then we're going to move on to chapter 5. So we got about 50 pages of adventures left for book 1. Like, I'm pretty excited. For book 2, there's gonna be a new character coming. I'm gonna introduce a girl. And hopefully a significant increase in quality of the comic books. But like I said, for that, I'm gonna need to pay a third person to help us with the backgrounds. And so I don't know if after after book 1 finishes, I don't know to tell you when book 2 will start, because it's a long way away. I'm hoping in 6 months, so before Christmas, we finish with Niels book 1, and then it's gonna be on hiatus. See YouTube chatting about the next page. Yeah. I always do this, like I show June what's going on. Usually I have the usual followers coming up in the chat, so it's not like I'm spoiling too much. Yeah, I mean, we need to keep it going so that every week I put out a new page and it's the same quality. We haven't strived to do like very high quality, amazing comic, because it's kind of the first one and we're not gonna have that many followers anyway. So just the goal was to be able to do it. And if it would be financially successful or floating, uh, then we would make bigger investments of time and resources and all that. June is awesome because she does great line art. Like, everybody's so expressive and fun. A convention touring? No, we don't have money for that. It would be nice, but we don't have the followers nor the money to invest in the advertising in order to get those followers that would be so numerous that it would be worth doing any conventions. Plus, we live in different countries, so just us getting together is gonna be a huge financial investment all on its own. Yeah, you're about as good at it as me, which is not much of a compliment. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna save some money for book 2 and try and find someone that is good at doing backgrounds. Better than us anyway. Because it takes so much time that even if I would get better at this, um, it would take a lot of time from doing the story writing and the research and emailing institutions to ask them, or just researching the information on the internet and then fact checking it, and takes too long. Would start to work fine again. The app crashed on me. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't help that much, but we'll see during the hiatus what goes on. Maybe I'll try and do a crowdfunding, but I don't think that would be that good since, like I said, I'm not very good at this, and the followers aren't like huge numbers. Conventions for Artists Alley. Any chance I can also promote you guys coming along the adventures? Yeah, of course. Any promotion is welcomed. I don't know if I can send you some copies. I'm gonna check and see what Kablam's prices are. Uh, I'm gonna have to look for something in Canada as well, where you are. Because Kablam is in the USA, and then if they ship anything out of the country, then it will be extra cost, so I need to see how much that is. At the moment, I'm not gonna do any investments because we have to save our money because we're moving back to Europe. Yeah, but at the moment I can't support you in it with any hard copies. So I'm gonna need to see maybe in the future and at what conventions you go, like how many people are gonna be, how high of a quality can I send you. We shall chat again when it's relevant. I don't mind help fund with the process. Yeah, we're gonna have to send some emails and see what companies offer. Um, in your part of the the country. Or yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's some promotions at some point. Like that may be a strategy. Like just wait and see, and when they do um, have some events, like for example on Lulu, they have moments when they offer free shipping and 10% discount, which is really nice. Even though their books are more expensive, that free shipping might be much better than whatever Kablam uh, gives, because I haven't seen Kablam ever do any free shipping events. They're not that big of a company like Lulu. When do you wanna do this event? Like, when is your season for comic book adventuring and comic cons and stuff like that? Oops, didn't wanna color that part. Right now I'm starting with park events for our groups while I see cross promotion with the local, provincial, national governments. Ooh. And I imagine when it gets warmer, since you're saying parks, I'm building a convention list and mapping them all. Yeah, from what I've seen, it tends to be in the summer. Like Ibeon was talking about their convention, and they're gonna go in August or something like that. It's gonna be their convention. I don't even know what I'm gonna be doing this August. It's gonna be super busy. Like I said, we have to move back. So that's gonna be loads of fun. I'm gonna make a folder. Gang. Oh, why isn't it working? Am I not on the right layer? I am on the right layer. Ah, okay. This is front hill. Got to run for a bit. Okay, take care, Kirani. I'm gonna stream another hour and a half, so no worries. Okay, let's see, and lighter in the background. To be honest, I would kind of I'm gonna think a bit more about this. How do I create the distance? Oh no, I drew on the wrong layer. As always, undo, undo, undo. And I'm gonna put house color. Classic, yeah. I mean, I don't think there goes a page where I don't do this mistake. Like, it's unending. I don't even remember how the house used to look like. I gotta go. It's been 2 years. Time flies. So it had kind of a grayish line of beams. Now it's daylight, so there should be like more brown. The hay roof is still gonna be a bit dark. Oh, when Kirani comes back, I should ask her about the watch party for the mermaid film from G Kids. No, G Kids, sorry, is the distributor. The production studio is Ponoko what was it called? Mary and witch's flower. Ponok. Okay, so it's Studio Ponok that broke off from Ghibli. with their blessing, which I'm surprised that Miyazaki gave his blessing for anything. He seems like the very harsh father you don't want to have. But I'm glad Ghibli is multiplying because they have a certain type of storytelling that I really like, and it's less commercial, more fantastical, and I really like what they do, so I'm super glad they're multiplying. Means we'd get two films per year, or uh, more frequently anyway, this type of story. Uh, this film, I'm not sure if Over the Wall is from them. I think they were just exhausted um, from the making Mari and the Witch's Flower. Like, it looked amazing. The story wasn't great, which is a shame that they weren't able to get like a better script. But it looked amazing, so they have like huge potential now, and I'm sure other companies will see it and like give them better scripts to work with. Because often, it's such a issue and complication with copyright and who owns the rights to do which film. Because the studio, none of them are writers. Most of them are artists that do animation, so they have to get the scripts from somewhere else, and then you have to figure out, okay, so you have to negotiate for whoever did the story to pay them, pay the adaptation of the script, and so on and so forth. And like, the better the story and more famous the author, the more expensive that's gonna be. So it gets a lot more complicated than you might want it to be. Which is something that I never really thought about until I started like watching reviewers talk about these issues. And how big of an issue is, why don't we get like better stories for films that look amazing? And often the issue is, what intellectual property are you allowed to use? Okay, let's see if I can find the page with the door where they go in. Okay, so the door is dark brown. I'll make it a lighter brown then, because it's day now. Yeah, so this mermaid film is, I think, from another studio. I'm gonna check and see. Over the Wall anime. Wikipedia. Let's see. Music by blah blah blah. Production company Science Saru. Science Saru. Okay, let's see. Do they have any other films? Science Saru. Wikipedia. Yeah, not a major studio. Wiki data. Doesn't seem like there's much. But screenwriter, blah blah blah. Saru is monkey, yes. Monkey science. Director. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Science Saru has a Wikipedia page because the link didn't seem active. So they're new, and I'm super excited because I looked at part of the animation. Kind of reminds me a bit of the wavy flow of Foli Kuli, if you remember that weird anime. Fence color. So I think it would be a pretty interesting anime to watch. Uh, wait. I gotta think where the sun is coming. So this is in the south, and its midday would be from above. Okay. And would be coming from the east. Yeah, it's gonna be lighter on that side a bit. It's so confusing. Like I have to keep track of where the sun is coming from. When I do the shadows. Like I never think about this stuff, you know, and I wonder now when Miyazaki does his films, like does he keep track of the geography and where everything is, and like does the colors does the shadows accordingly to the time and place the characters are in? Like, does he ever have to wonder about the continuity? Like, does he draw a map and says, okay, my characters are here. Now they move here, so the sun at this time will be there. I shouldn't have closed page 101. I'm gonna open it again, and now I'm gonna open 101. He probably does. Oh, that would be so much like you have to keep track of. Big bad dogs. Let's see, he gave one a missing eye. So he's gonna be the middle boss dog. That would be easier to distinguish them. So, missing eye dog is gonna be boss dog. Kind of reminds me a bit of Solid Snake from Full Metal. No, or what was the name of that video game? Solid Snake. Metal Gear. Okay, Metal Gear. It's not Full Metal. I was gonna say Full Metal Jacket, but I remember that was some film about Vietnam. I was like, I don't think it was Full Metal Jacket. And then I was thinking Full Metal Alchemist. No, can't be that either. There was something about metal and full and something something. That cat. Da-na-na-na-na-na. His ears are so big. He's funny. Like I like that. Have you how you kept the weird design I had for him? I'm spotting something. Ah, what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying like, why are those dogs getting closer? Shouldn't they stay where they are? But it was kind of like the same for me. They were on a hill far away, and I was looking at them, and then I realized they took a left turn. Like we were walking in parallel, and they took a left turn and started coming towards me, so I turned to the right and faced them. And I'm like, oh. I needed, there was like this broken old fence nearby, and I managed to get a piece of wood from the fence, and like that was it. I used one hand to call my parents and tell them I'm stuck here. I'm head again. Oh, sorry, back against a tree, and they're like big bad shepherd dogs on me. Sure, I can give them like a darker tip for the tail. Shepherd dogs. Like, does it have a black tip? Yeah, it has like a little black tip. And I decided on brown, I think, for the other one. On the on the right. Okay, so it's brown on the right, and you're gonna get butts kicked. And this one's gonna be the more traditional beige color. With the brownish coat. Should be a bit more grayish. Something like that. And then the tip is black as well. Rawr. We defend the sheep. And anyway, I got saved by the shepherd who like called his dogs back. Because he was walking around with the dogs as well. And he whistled at the dogs, and the dogs left me alone. But I gotta tell you, it gets your blood pumping when you have dogs like these come at you. And you're not emotionally prepared for such situations. Yeah, I did, I totally did not expect it, and then I called my parents, and like they told me to do what I was already doing, and then to wait for them to go away, and they were not going away. It felt like I was sitting there for eternity, until the shepherd whistled them to come back. And they were bloody fast. Like it took me half an hour to travel that ravine, and they just ran through it like it was nothing. Like I think it took them 2 minutes, what took me 30 minutes. Because I just barely had time to get the stick from a broken fence. Oh, it's just so cute. Look at his eyes. He looks adorable. I just didn't expect how fast they kind of actually were. You mangy, fluffy doggo. And they look like this. I mean, I saw for you. So this is the what they call Romanian Shepherd dog, but they weren't like this one. I mean, I don't remember it looking like this. It looked more like a mangy dog off the street. Like it in shape, it looked closer to this. And this one kind of looks like the British sheepdog, bigger, fluffier. But I don't know if the breed was really that at 300 years ago. Shepherds usually never use pure race dogs. Uh-huh. Cause now it's all about racial purity or breed purity with dogs, so I can't really tell. If it was like that at the time. I just think of, what's going on home with our dogs. Pure breed dog is super expensive. I imagine it wasn't cheap at that time um, either. And I don't know if they even had access to like any breeding programs. Mendel hadn't even been born yet. Like it would take him another 60 years before you would get born, and talk about breeding and inheriting traits and stuff like that. So I don't think they cared much about how the dog looked as they do now. Now you have all kinds of certificates and financial support. Um, like for example, if you're breeding a type of um, animal that was used for agricultural purposes, you might get some financial aid from the government. In certain countries, even in the U.S., like I was surprised they care about these things. And heirloom vegetables as well. I don't know if you've seen, there's some websites dedicated to selling weird heirloom seeds. I don't know if you're that much of a fan of it. Like I sometimes look at it because it's really fun and like such crazy colors that I never knew existed because did not live on a farm much. We never grew anything that we ate in our apartment. Obviously, that wasn't possible. Um, but my husband had a grandfather that had a farm, and he lived near a agricultural research facility. So he kind of buddied up to the guys that worked there, and he would get rare seeds that you just couldn't find anywhere at the time. You had no internet and Amazon and overnight shipping and stuff like that. So I was surprised that he knew about pink corn, red corn, blue corn. Yeah, there's so many types of corns, and they look really awesome, and you can find them on websites like these. I posted them on the Discord server, the links in some videos from a guy that kind of picked some of them he liked, and they were like really cool looking for work. So I always saw them. Yeah. hmm I would love to have a garden so I can plant some of these myself. Like I've never seen pink corn in real life. I've only seen the rainbow corn, and I didn't eat it. It was just for decorations. But I would really like to grow some and taste it myself. From what I understand, it just tastes like corn. There's nothing special about it. It's just how it looks, and all the seeds, the corn bits, um, they taste like corn. They don't taste anything different, which is kind of a disappointment for me. Like I was hoping they would taste something weird. But it doesn't seem like it. Like the only difference I would say, because here in the US you can find that at the supermarket much easier. Um, colored, multicolored carrots. and you have like a purple carrot and a yellow carrot and a white carrot and an orange carrot. And I gotta say that I don't like the pale carrots. I think they taste like more watery. I think the purple carrot and the orange carrot have a much stronger and nicer taste. So I'm kind of curious if purple carrot, sorry, dark or blue corn is gonna taste stronger in its corn flavor. Have you ever had blue corn? I bought some blue corn potato chips here because you can't buy the blue corn, but you can buy potato chip corns made from supposedly blue corn. And they didn't taste any different. I thought maybe it was just, a scam, and they colored it and didn't actually affect the taste. Here I don't have much corn. It's pasta land, spaghetti land. Are there like any weird types of wheat that you've ever seen? Strange colored wheat. These are just painted. I know these. They're painted. They used to paint them in Romania as well and like put them in decorations. There seems to be a variety in seeds, but it's a darker one. Oh, I love these. I know they like put food coloring in them, and I love them. Prefer the ones colored by vegetables though, instead of like food coloring. My favorites are the tricolor farfalle, but I never find these here. They were hard to find back home. And here I just can't find them. I only find colored rotini, which I guess is okay, but I prefer the farfalle. I don't have any logical reasons why I would prefer this shape over the other. It's just I like it more. Yeah. You mostly eat barilla, it's like the best one here. It's not exactly pasta land. It's soybean for cattle land. Not much for humans, I think. Farfalle are awesome, I love them. Yeah, I don't know why I prefer that shape most. Short pasta more than spaghetti. Short pasta, let's see. You mean orzo? Is what they call it here. It looks like rice, but it's actually pasta. And I really like these too. Ah, short pasta is oh, okay. Like anything that's like farfalle or rotini or things like that. I like spaghetti too, just because I can play around with it in my in my what do you call it? Not table, dishware. Plate. Okay, my plate or my bowl. Macaroni. Macaroni. I think it's tubes because we call it macaroni. Macarone. I'm curious what macaroni. What do you guys consider? Yeah, okay, so the tube ones. Yeah, we call these macarone. I'm curious if they were made in Roman times, so like when did they get to Romania? Like because the name is pretty similar, so I'm suspecting it's a more recent entry to the language because you have it in English as well, macaroni. I'm gonna look it up on Wikipedia. I'm curious. Blah blah blah. Byzantine Greek. Food made from barley. It's not Roman. Wow. I could have sworn it was 100% Italian peninsula invention. And Macaria doesn't seem to go anywhere. Made from barley. Barley isn't that great for making pasta, but I guess it's easier to grow than wheat. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I did not expect that. To be Greek origin food. Well, maybe it's just the word. Maybe it was invented in Italy, in the peninsula, and then somehow it got to the Turkish peninsula. If it says Byzantine Empire there. Although agriculture was invented in the what you call it, the Middle East, so they would have had barley and other things before um, Greeks and Romans. But it said Byzantine, so it's something pretty recent. It's like after Jesus. And agriculture's been for at least 12,000 years. So yeah, if you look at it that way, it's pretty recent invention. Oh, I watched the film Annihilation last night. It's a horror film, sci-fi horror type of thing. It was pretty nice. I liked the visuals a lot. Did you like Annihilation? I thought it was really interesting. Something new to watch. In an interview, the director said that he didn't adapt the film as it was in the books, but more of how he remembered it to be like. So it has like this dream-like quality to it, which I thought was really neat. And definitely a bold approach to it. When was the book written? Oh, it's 2014. Yeah, I think the author's still kicking alive and well, and rather young. So I think they must have talked to each other about this. I really like the properties of the shimmer. For one of my science fiction stories, I have something that has kind of similar, but in other ways opposite effects. So I was actually looking for something to kind of counterbalance the effects of that entity and mm, thing in my story. I'll go see you later if you're still here. Bon appetit, June. I have like 40 minutes to finish this page. You're welcome. curious if I'm using like the right color. No, it's actually darker. Interesting. I think I'll need to lighten this up a lot more. Simply because there's like a lot of sunshine. And here Marie is putting on her ferocious face, trying to seem imposing, even though she's a half-sized corgi, half-sized dog. Um, so she's way, 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 way smaller than the shepherd dogs, because usually shepherd dogs are bigger than the average dog. That's why they're used in guarding livestock. They have the muscle necessary to fight off bears and wolves and things like that. And June made her little nose curl up, and it's so cute. Where was her color? Oh, Erwin there. Squirrel Erwin. He's not much of a fighter. So initially I wanted this to be a video game, but I turned it into a comic book because I didn't have the financial opportunity to turn it into a video game right from the start. So I'm always thinking about balancing the abilities of each character. Make another layer for my protagonist. Folder, sorry, so I can put him in the folder and just more easily turn everything off. And I'm gonna draw more trees or just duplicate that one there. Okay, so I'm gonna need to go back in the files and also adjust the colors a bit, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here, even though it's a bit. Oh, I still have Erwin to color. Okay, finish this because it's gonna be easier to color in Clip Studio Paint than when I shift to Photoshop. Photoshop has an easier color balance adjustment to it. So it's a lot easier to adjust colors in there. And that's why I always pass it for Photoshop. It's a lot easier to do things in there of this nature. It would be a really awesome day when you can just pick and choose features from which programs you want, and like the menus and things like that. And you can just say, oh, I want this feature from that program and this feature from that program, and I want it to be easily accessible like that other program. And you can just customize everything and then save your customization so you don't have to do it every time. One neat thing about Photoshop is that you can save your customizations, and then if you go to another desktop where there's another Photoshop, you can just plug in a USB and get your customizations, like where you want the menus, keyboard shortcuts, things like that. And I wish Clip Studio Paint had that feature. I've looked trying to find out this, and I haven't yet, so far I don't think this option exists. Although I would have loved it, because it doesn't have the same keyboard shortcuts as Photoshop, and I'm used to those. The old Photoshop, like Photoshop made some changes that I don't like, and I have to undo those changes. And just change it back. Yeah, so now I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's half done, like I still have to finish coloring the background, but I'll do that once I decide on the new color palette for the trees and everything for this area. At this daytime 'Cause it is, this point is like past noon, so it should be like super strong, harsh um, lighting from above. And I just can't use the eyedropper to get the colors from when I had in the morning when the light was less harsh. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream. The next one's gonna be Saturday, and I'll be coloring the Darwin Day celebration page. In the previous 2 years, I've done special event illustrations for Valentine's Day. So this year I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna do Darwin Day since my comic is science oriented. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and bye bye.